Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to EV Nickel's channel, accelerating the transition to clean energy with battery metal exploration. Forefronting this industry today, Chief Executive Officer Sean Sampson. Welcome back, sir.
Great to be back. Thanks for having me.
And a pleasure to have you. So what we're going to do today is we're going to be diving down and talking more about your drill programs and the properties themselves. And to offer a little bit of visuals today, we're going to pull up something from your slide deck. And I wouldn't mind just reiterating a little bit of this property just to give a little bit more insight and clarity to how you guys are operating in Ontario here. Do you want to just break this down briefly?
Sure thing. So the slide you pulled up shows where we are located on the left. So we're up in the Timmins camp, which is primarily a gold camp. It's a large mining town, very well serviced for pulling together new mining projects. There's over 20 operating mines and advanced projects. And importantly for our business, it's served by clean hydropower. And you see there on the right, that's our 9,100 hectares. We have 30 kilometers of very interesting strike, so favorable komatiates, which is the stuff that we're looking for nickel in. It's easy access back to Timmins. It's along an all-season gravel road, and we have power lines straight down. So we're within 50 kilometers of town. The guys work down at our project, and they sleep back in town with their families, which is a great place to try to develop a mining business. And you see there on our project, it's a very large project upon which we have our starter resource at W4. That's the 15 million pounds at 1%. And just north of us, there is historic mining. So those are the little symbols there with past mines that pulled out material that was grading better than 1%. In addition to there being a couple permitted mills in the camp as well. There's the Redstone mill is marked there on the slide, but also there's another one, the Carshaw mill. So we're down in an area where there's been historic mining. And what I'm really interested in is the historic grades match the type of grades that get turned into mines. And that's the 1% nickel that we have currently in our resource. And we hope that we're going to be able to find even more nickel down in the Langmuir property. And that's the first of the three things that we're doing. One is finding the most nickel we can at Langmuir. The second is putting our hands on more land down on the Shaw Dome. And then the third is beginning to put together the pieces of this clean nickel story, this clean nickel business.
Yeah, that's incredible. It's crazy, huge land package. I actually know this area pretty well, but expanding farther, do you want to talk about kind of the mineralization and just kind of the what's going on with the geophysics here?
Yeah, so this slide, the geophysics, the first thing that EV Nickel did last year after we acquired the project was we pulled together all the historical data and we reran the geophysics. So using a third-party company, Condor, who are basically the best in the business on this, they reran all of the geophysics that had been done historically. And with the new technology, the better calculating power, and the better algorithms, they were able to hone in on 16 trends. And we see here one of the images from their work. The whole property basically lights up. And then across that, we were able to focus on 6 high priority targets, as we call them. Now, one of those targets was the existing starter resource at W4, which was neat because we gave them all the geophysics. They came back, mapped out all the hotspots, focused in on the 6 high priority targets. One of them happened to be where a resource was. So they were blind from all of the drilling results that we already had, just working on the geophysics, and they came up with these targets. First one was W4. That's where we drilled last year. And with the drilling last year, we confirmed that W4 goes up and down trend and is open at depth. So we'll go back into W4 to figure out how much bigger it can be. But we're really excited right now because we're into the other 5 high priority targets. And the one on the far left on this slide is HPZ. And that's the one we're into right now. So the drill has been spinning there and we're soon going to have our first results. So we're really excited to be into a new target. These are the best anomalies across this package. It's an underexplored package. This is a never explored target. So we're pumped for the 10,000 meters we plan to do in the first half of this year, starting on the west side with this first target. And then we're going to move back over to the east, do more holes near W4, and then also check further east from there. We're into more of these high priority targets. So it's an exciting time for us because as a company in this phase with our exploration part of our business, we're into targets that have never been looked at before with this current one, or we're looking at ones that have been underexplored. This is really neat because this is when you uncover real value.
100%. So kind of as these drill results come out in this zone, are you guys looking to acquire, expand beyond this? Is this your primary land package for this year that you're expanding into, or is there a little bit more coming down the line?
Yeah, so that's the second thing we're doing. The first is trying to figure out how much nickel we can find at Langmuir. The second thing is we're trying to get our hands on more land in the Shaw Dome. So this new district that we want to pull together more land across. That's where we're spending a bunch of our time. And that's where I hope we're going to have some future news flow about getting a bigger land package going. And then the third thing is coming out with news and information about all the work we're doing around clean nickel and the clean nickel business. So it's an exciting time because we're in the ground drilling, we'll have new data. And again, these are not just rehashing old deposits. These are anomalies that have not been drilled. So it's underexplored and not explored areas of our big land package. And then I'm hoping we're going to get our hands on more land on the Shaw Dome, and it's going to become even bigger of a story as we start putting together this district, this new area where we'll be able to have clean nickel production.
Yeah, it's very exciting times for sure. Expanding beyond that, do you want to just touch base as well on the stock price itself? We're seeing a bit of a retraction there, losing a little bit of faith from some of these investors, even though I think there's some incredible stuff going on here, considering we're heading into this kind of wild, commodities renaissance, and these commodity stocks are just, most of them are trading down, yet the commodity prices are through the roof. So it's just kind of seeing a disconnect in value from the underlying assets. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, there definitely is a disconnect, I would say, between first, what I just spoke about, what we're doing at the company. Secondly, the nickel market we're in, which is strong and I think has some upward momentum. But then, of course, our stock's trading off significantly. And it's always tough to figure out what's going on specifically within the stock. But what I do know is, having come out of financing, our stock is into new hands. So last December, we did an IPO. And then early last year, we did a private round. The private round was at 30 cents. And that comes out free trading in waves. And we're more than halfway through the waves of free trading stock coming out on the 30-cent round. And of course, the IPO at 75 cents was all free trading. Stock other than that is all locked up. So all the founders' stock, that's out over a 3-year timeline for it to come out of escrow. So what's really trading in the market now is, I believe, a mixture of the 30-cent stock that came into the private company last year. And then I guess some people are exiting off of the 75-cent IPO from last December. Obviously, they're taking things at a loss, but I think what's really driving that has been the market beyond EV nickel. So I think as people are in these micro caps and small caps and they're locked in, our stock has some liquidity. So people who came in last year at 30 cents are jumping out now at a loss to that because they can. And their stock is not locked up. And as it loosens up, I think that they're trading out of a piece of it. So they're taking that loss, but we can basically track the volumes that come out each month, roughly match the amounts that become free trading. We're almost done that. That all ends up in about a month or two. But the interesting thing is, I feel like the stock is going from sort of fast money hands to holders' hands. And at the price we're at now, it represents a deep, deep value. So we have this enormous land package. We have our starter resource at a really good grade. We have huge exploration potential. We are funded for this year's announced drill program. So there's no need for us to go out and wash out the stock at this price. So I'm okay, again, back on the business front, doing the things we said we were going to do. They're all still happening. And again, the nickel market is very strong. The thing that's sort of missing out is that I think we're transitioning now from, fast money investors who may have come in last year during that private round, and we're getting into stickier hands. But from a perspective of a new investor, it represents very, very deep, deep value. And it's something that, I'm very interested in as well. And I suspect that, I'll begin picking up more of the stock at this level as well. I never thought it was going to trade down this low.
Sure, shareholders appreciate hearing that. But on that note, Sean, I definitely appreciate you coming out today. These insights are very helpful. Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Always a pleasure. On that note, folks, I always pass the question off to you. Let us know what you think in that comment section below. Consider subscribing, because as that news comes down the wire, we get drill results. You can hear them right here. But stay cool, stay awesome. And as always, I look forward to catching you in the next one.